Here's an even better question. How do you get the feelings back once you're checked out and there's already another person that you are wanting to explore life with? And I want to stop before I go further by saying, like, this is extremely fucking hard for me to talk about. I've only talked about this one time, and it was over on my Facebook. And this is after, like, I had left my husband and I was gone for months, and I got off social media, and I knew that I couldn't get back on social media without sharing the extent of everything that was going on in my life. Some people would say, you don't owe people anything, but I have always been super vulnerable and honest and open about everything in my life on social media. And I think that that's something that's like a gift that God has given me, like the gift to be able to share really fucking hard things with the world and be judged for it. So with that being said, this is gonna sound really fucking cliche, and nobody ever wants to hear this whenever they're going through something, but I only have one explanation for why me and my husband were able to move forward, and it's Jesus. Like, I'm being so fucking serious right now, because there is no way, like, it just logically speaking, I was checked out. I had no interest in moving forward. At one point I was literally asking him, like, please let me go, bro. Like, you gotta let me go. I am telling you that I want to explore this with another person, and realistically I couldn't until he let me go. Like, I struggled in that whole time that I was separated from him, because this person didn't live anywhere near me, so I was gonna have to, like, book a flight to go see the person. And every time that I would, like, plan to do that, it was the spirit in me telling me not to. I did not know why, but that was something that I did do in the time apart, was I made sure that I did not go and be in the physical with this person. It's not that I didn't want to, but everything in me was saying, like, wait. It was God. And so the whole time that I was separated from my husband, I just prayed a fucking lot. And I didn't pray for God to give me feelings back for my husband. I didn't pray for God to make my marriage perfect. I literally just prayed that God would just move in the situation however he saw fit. And I just did that, and I waited. And little did I know, my husband was also praying too, which is something that he had not done in a long time, was like pray. I didn't know any of this until we got back together, that he was actually surrendering to God at the same time that I was. And so that is the explanation that I have for that. But I just invited him in it, and I remember every day I would wake up and it was just like, it was unreal. Honestly, I felt like I was not even living in a real life. But every day I would wake up and all the anxiety would kick in, and the depression and the sadness, all the emotions. And I remember saying, like, God, you are not surprised by where I'm at right now, even though I'm looking at my life and I'm like, oh my God, how did I get here? I can't believe this is my life. You're not surprised, and you're also not surprised about the way that it ends. I just invited him in it, dude. Like I said, I know it's super cliche, but I just kept saying, God, would you just move in it? Like, I want to do what you want me to do. Biblically speaking, yes, I know, like, God is not for divorce. So, like, I understand all the biblical aspect of it. That was why it was so hard for me too, because I was like, I already know what you want, but I need to feel you in this, like, because I feel like I am making the right decision, even though I know biblically speaking I am not, but I still feel like I'm making the right decision. Just inviting him in, and again, by the grace of God, you guys, it just worked. You know, we ended up back together. A lot of work to be done in the marriage, of course, but something in me shifted almost in a split second, to where I was like, I want to work on my marriage. Like, I don't want to give this up. I don't know. It was God. And so even when we got back together, I wouldn't say that the feelings came back. It, like, took some time, because again, there was another person that I was potentially trying to explore things with. So I obviously had to cut that off, like, duh. This was not because I was told to do that. It was because I knew that that was the right thing to do, obviously. If I was going to go back to my marriage, I had to sever ties with this person, or it was just not going to work. And then everything about our marriage had to change. So, like, prior to this, I had the marriage where, like, my husband trusted me, and I could have guy friends, and I could go out, and I could do all these things, which was fun until it wasn't. Everything is fine, and you have control, and you can cut people off, and you cannot put yourself in certain situations because your marriage is happy and it's healthy and it's thriving. But then when it's not, and you're still doing those same things that you were doing when your marriage was happy and healthy, I just think that's the risk, and that's the risk I took, and I fucked up. This is really hard because I'm having to be fucking human. A lot of people don't do this. I would say like 99.9% of people don't do this, and that's why it's hard, because I've never gotten to witness someone opening up about these things, because there's a lot of shame around it, condemnation, guilt, something that I still struggle with today. When me and Sean got back together, I remember like spilling the beans of like everything, you know, like just, I was like, if we're gonna get back together, I had nothing to lose. Like, I've got to be completely honest with this man about every situation I've ever been in, that I, you know, didn't get myself out of, like everything. So honestly, I kind of expected that he would just like leave after that, and he didn't. And then I remember like sobbing hysterically because what the fuck? And I looked at him and I said, I don't understand. Like, you literally love me like Jesus loves me. Like, what is that even about? Like, that's an unconditional love, and I don't know what to do with that, like, from another human being. And he said, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, I love you, because that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's really it. I have had a lot of people reach out and say, you know, be patient with Sean and like answer all his questions, and like just be like, give him grace. At one point I was like, damn, I don't experience that with him. And I like pulled him aside one day and I was like, is everything okay? Is there anything else that we need to talk about? Like, is there anything that you're harboring? I'm open to sitting here and talking to even more. Like, we can talk about this forever if we have to. But like, there's so many people in my inbox telling me like, be patient with you, but there's nothing to be patient with. Like, you, to me, it seems like you've really just forgiven me and we're moving forward. And he's like, it's because I have. There's no reason for me to sit here and keep dwelling on everything in the past. Like, I love you and I want this marriage and we're moving forward now. I know that not every relationship is capable of doing that. And so I can't speak to the relationships where people won't forgive. This is just the experience with mine, you know? I said in the other video that Sean had all the fruits that anyone would crave in a partner. Love, patience, kindness, forgiveness, all of these things. Literally has a heart like Jesus, because it doesn't even make sense to me how I've just been forgiven so effortlessly, because I'm not entirely sure that I would have been able to do the same if the roles were reversed, and I acknowledge that. Like, that's the human in me, and I can't even wrap my head around the fact that I've been blessed with this man, knowing that I don't deserve it. But the truth is, none of us technically deserve it. It's the epitome of the way that Jesus loves us. I think that's what our marriage, in a sense, is displaying it, and that was what God designed marriage to do anyway, right? He didn't design marriage to make us happy. He designed marriage to make us holy. Again, be the epitome of the way Jesus loves us. And I feel like I get that from my husband, and it's hard for me because I want to reject it. I want to push him away because I don't feel worthy of it. I feel ashamed. This is very long-winded, but you asked, how do you get the feelings back once they're gone? You pray. And I know that sounds crazy, and it's cliche, and nobody ever wants to hear it, but it's the only thing that I've got, because it's the only thing that I did, was I prayed, and I waited, and I was patient, and I didn't run into the arms of the next man so quick. And I know that had I done that, I don't know that we would have moved forward, honestly. I really don't. I think I would have been entirely too checked out, not only emotionally, but physically. I hope this helps.